Welcome to the Untrapped Podcast, where we're motivated and inspired about success, small business, and personal development. And now, Keith Kalfas.
What's up, guys? This is Keith Kalfas with the Untrapped Podcast. I have Blake Albertson from B&B Lawncare. Drove all the way from Kansas City, Missouri to be here, but also at the Launchpreneur Academy Saturday. Bro, you came with your family.
Yes, sir.
Actually, they're hanging out right now. We're here in the studio, and then we're going to get dinner afterwards. I'm so happy that you're here, bro.
Happy to be here, dude.
Oh, if you guys hear me out of breath in the beginning of these podcasts, because I have this ritual. I've never said this, so I have to say it real quick. I always drop and I do 21 push-ups real quick for the podcast. And then someone else said in the podcast, why does Kalfas keep looking around? It's because we got lights and cameras and stuff all over the place, and I'm paying attention to all this technology. But that's why. So how you doing, man?
Doing good, dude. Stretching out after a long drive. But it was good, dude. I'm excited to be here in the studio. I've seen a million videos filmed here, so it's always cool to, like, see it in real life. Like, have you ever seen somebody you watch on YouTube, and then you see him in real life, and you're like, it looks like a ghost. Like, it messes with your mind, you know? I get that way with Keith. Whenever back in the day, Greg Chisholm, when I saw him the first time at the first GIE meetup that I went to, I was like, is that a ghost? Like, it looks like a ghost. It's weird. You know what I'm talking about if you've ever seen like a celebrity or somebody you watch online and you see him in person, it just seems, it's like weird. You know, like you and I have been friends for probably like 8 or 9 years now.
Since the beginning, bro.
And it's still weird to like see you in person because I see you more online, you know? And Keith and I talk fairly often, but it's just weird. It's weird to be, you know, in person. So it's cool. I'm excited for the week, dude. I think a lot of people are coming here to Michigan, and it's cool that Brian has this event to bring people together, dude, and just hopefully just learn. Like, I have no agenda coming here. I was like, Brian, I just want to come as a, you know, somebody just coming and learning what I can learn from the event. And we're here, and I'm like, hey, Keith, let's make a video. Let's make a podcast or something.
Definitely, because I'm an hour east of Brian.
Yep.
And so I'm speaking at the Academy Saturday as well. I'm going to be talking about Know Your Worth Part 2. If you guys haven't seen Part 1, go on my YouTube channel, type in Keith Kalfas Know Your Worth. It's a speech that I did, and people seem to resonate with it. But back to you, man. So your lawn care business, you've expanded this year. You've taken on more. Can you talk about the expansion process and having a couple more employees, a couple more trucks? What's that like, and what is the role that you went from playing a few years ago to the role you're playing now in your business? What does that look like?
Yeah. So, long story short, this is now probably like this is my second actual acquisition that I've went through with. But over the last year, I've had like 3 or 4 opportunities, all kind of around the same size company that I was going to acquire, which is basically like, you know, taking us to a couple hundred weekly mowing clients, you know. And I started my business with 7 customers. You know, I got to 20 and I was like, whoo-hoo-wee. Here we are, you know, and I was still in high school. When I got out of high school, I didn't know where to go. And you actually talked about this in a video, which I thought was interesting. And I think a lot of people just need to go through and learn what they want to do in their business, what makes them the money, what makes them happy, what can you become efficient at. You know, you do more landscaping. We do light landscaping. We do landscaping to fill in the gaps of the year. Early springtime, maybe late fall, but like during the year we're mowing, you know, and that's the bread and butter, and that's what I've always enjoyed doing, and we have the processes to do mowing. So if we, you know, send a crew in July to do landscaping on a day, it just seems to mess up the flow of our business, you know, so that's why we kind of stay away from it. So I took a couple years to figure out like what did I want to do? Do we want to do mulching? Do we want to do rock? And I made good money at it, but I just didn't love it. It seemed like to do a 2-day rock job It took me a day of preparation before the 2 days and a day afterwards to get us all set up back to mowing. And I didn't like that, and I didn't know if I could become efficient enough to do that. And I always went back to mowing, even though people were like, oh, well, you don't make good money in mowing. The money's in the irrigation, the money's in the rock, the money's in the hardscaping. It's probably true. It is true. I know a lot of successful companies that do that stuff, but we just always stuck with the mowing. So at the beginning of the year, I had 2 opportunities to buy like buddy of mine companies, and these were like 6-figure acquisitions. And I don't know. There was just a couple things that we didn't go through with it. There was no hard feelings at all from me and my buddies, but we ended up not going through with it. About springtime this year is when the guy that I purchased the company, he came to me, told me about it, and I was like, I kind of almost shrugged it off. And I had done so much work, like due diligence work, with the other acquisitions. I was like, I'm just kind of sick of it. Like, it didn't work out. Took a ton of my time. I'm tired of looking at P&Ls. I'm tired of like diving into other people's businesses to see if I want to buy them. And I was like, I don't even know if this is where I want to go anymore, after doing it. But he was so forward with all of the information of his business. We did sign like an NDA. So if we didn't go through with the business, we couldn't take any of the customers, which is like step number 1, by the way. If you're going to acquire a business or sell a business, you guys have to sign an NDA, because people are like, well, what if I tell them about my customers and they go out and steal it all? It could be possible. It could be true, because now they know your numbers. They know what you charge. But once you have that document in place, you're kind of safe.
Dude, there's this book I just read over the summer. Well, I listened to it on audible.com, The ABs and C's of Buying and Selling a Business by Robert Kiyosaki's advisors. Bro, it's so deep. And he's like, they're talking about don't say anything until there's an NDA, and even afterward, don't say anything till everything is finalized, because people get freaked. And if you back out and change your mind, like you don't want to, like it's just not right, then people already think you're going to sell your business, and clients and employees might start freaking out and leaving, or just types of weird stuff like that. So pretty smart of you. Yeah,
and we had a lot of trust built up, because it seemed that the date that he was wanting out, and when we were deciding to start, which was July 1st of this year, it just kept getting closer and closer. And it was like, bam, it's like, this is happening next week. We have to tell the customers. We have to like let everybody know. And he had hinted to the clients, but we haven't done like a formal introduction, And I'm like, this is next week. We have to get
pull your
going.
jacket down. It's rubbing on the mic.
Sorry.
That's cool. Or you could just reach behind your back and kind of pull like that, and it'll get it down and away. Right. There you go.
Okay, so but it was so much work, unexplainable problems, like crazy, but like little problems, not like huge problems, just like things you don't think about, like the way somebody runs their business. The clients that they have get used to that. Okay, they get used to the way Keith does billing, and how we pay Keith, and how we communicate with Keith, and seeing Keith on the property every week, the business owner on the property every week. They get used to that, Sorry, Keith, about the microphone. I'll move my jacket out of the way. But the clients get used to that. So when you acquire, my main focus was, how do we successfully transition the customers and make them happy and make them B&B customers? And make them fall in love with us. That was my main worry. It wasn't, let's start raking in the money. Let's start raking in the money. You're always
talking about customer service.
That's all it is. And literally, to today, like, when I talk to my guys, it's like, just take care of the customers. We're not even, it is paying. I mean, we're doing well. Like, it's been a successful transition, in my opinion, in acquisition. But we're not focused on money at the moment. Like, we are. It's funny, as I grow my business, I just think the only things that matter, taking care of your customers, taking care of your employees, and doing good work. It's all, business is so complex, but focus on the things that actually matter. Your employees, They run everything. They do everything. They drive the whole business. And your customers, they're the ones that pay you. You know, like that's my main focus right now. And you asked, you know, what is my role now versus years ago? Well,
I love what you just said. The employees drive the business. That's a big breakthrough because
they do everything, dude. I'm sitting here with you right now in Michigan, 11 hours away from my house. Work's getting done. Clients are getting taken care of. What am I going to do? I'm sitting here 11 hours away from my business. So if I don't have employees and I don't have employees that care and I don't have employees that are on the mission that I'm on and what I want for my business, I'm sitting here destroying my business. You know what I mean? So if you ever want, in my opinion, freedom from your business, at least for a week, while I'm here in Michigan, I believe I'm growing my business by learning. You know, that's why you come to events like LAL or Equip Expo. It's to hopefully take away a couple nuggets that I go, oh, dude, like from Equip Expo, when you guys we were on stage at Energize, and I had already seen this problem. If you want to know another problem about that, it got exposed from the acquisition, going from 100 weekly customers to about 240, 250.
If you are looking for the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, and track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. If you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and after the trial, if you decide to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith.
Was our billing. It exposed a problem that I had created by not having strict billing policies, if you want to call it fancy terms. This is how you pay us. This is how we bill. That is it. I was always of the belief, and I heard this quote from Grant Cardone a couple years ago, probably messed me up. He said, dude, we'll take cash, Bitcoin, check, credit card, whatever if you pay us, if you're our customer, we'll take your money. And I was always of that philosophy. I was like, dude, I'm not going to turn away anything. If you're my customer and you're going to pay us, we'll do anything. Well, now, and listen, if you have a big business, you've already went through this, and you're probably like, oh, Blake, you're, complaining about 250 customers or whatever. But it's true. You should start it at 10 customers, 50 customers, 100 customers. A strict billing policy. Dude, we bill once a month. You pay us by credit card on file. That's how we bill. There's no more checks under the mat. There's no more checks in the grill, in the backyard.
Yeah.
There's no, we're not chasing money by, in a bad way from the customer. It's just like we're trying to find who owes money. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's not like anybody's doing anything wrong. It's just, it's not such a plan that's set in stone. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to, we're in the process of, we have to figure out, we bill once at the end of the month, your credit card's on file, done. That's it. So that's what we've been working on. And that's been our problem and our fault. It's my fault, 100%. But I just didn't know. Because for 15 years, it's been working. Cash, check, Venmo, however you want to pay me, just pay me. And we're good. We'll keep mowing your yard. But it's gotten to a point where it's like, I don't even, you know what I mean? You haven't paid in a month because we haven't went and picked up this check. So our cash flow's not working.
Because when you used to be like on the crew, or you just
Yes.
had your guy, but hey, you know the little secret spots of like this person keeps in the barbecue, this person keeps in there.
And it worked. It worked for when I was out on the properties every week, but it doesn't work anymore. And it's a pain that we're literally putting ourselves through by not just setting up a one strict rule. Nancy, I know you're old-fashioned. I know you love checks. It's 2024 almost. We're not doing checks anymore. We're doing credit card on file. That's just how it is. So we're going to work through that transition with the customers. It's going to be another hurdle that we have to.
You could be like, well, what do you mean? What's the big deal picking up a check?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a big deal when it's only
Exactly.
maybe 15% of 100 clients or something, and it's you.
But even if it's 15%, the 15% that you're going to pick up checks causes 90% of your headaches, because you're running around for 15% of your income to like chasing it around. You feel like when it doesn't
you could spend
have
that
to be an issue.
15% doing more services.
Yep.
And making way more money.
Yep.
So you expand to the top as you dissolve the bottom. Dissolve the bottom as you expand the top. Dog.
Yep. So that's what we're focused on. And to answer your question, that's we're the firefighters. We put out the problems. Excuse me. Ever since I quit, bro, I've had this cough, and I lost my voice for like a week, just talking so much at Equip. Anyways, we're the problem solvers, but we're also finding these issues in the business. We're like, okay, at the end of the first 2 months of this business, we're like, there's a problem. We didn't even know there was a problem, because guess what? The company that I bought and my company ran pretty similarly. That's why it was such a good fit. We build at the end of the month. We take cash, check, whatever, or credit card. But we had too many options. And you give 10 clients 4 different options to pay, do the math. Now you have you're like, wait, who paid PayPal? Who paid with the credit card? Wait, did we get that check last week from Nancy? It's a crazy headache that literally doesn't even need to be a problem. So I went to Equip. I heard people talking about, I actually talked to Brian on the phone, and I was telling him about this problem. I'm like, bro, we have like probably $40,000 out right now. He's like, what? I'm like, it's our fault, but it's just the way our business is right now, of always being like a month behind still, because we send out an invoice at the end of the month. By the time it comes around to getting a check in the mail, it's been 45 days since that last service. You can't run a business like that. I have bills. I have employees, payroll, taxes,
and
insurance.
If one little weird thing happens or something with the economy or something, people freeze up.
Yeah,
all that money could be gone. Boom.
Exactly.
So you want to speed up the rate of your money coming in, and then slow down the rate of the bills coming out, and make it all like kind of systematized.
Yeah, like you always hear those people like cash flow, and I didn't even know what that meant. Like I didn't know exactly what that meant until like literally a couple months ago. Now our payroll is like the month.
Oh wait, when I said slow down the rate, I meant just unnecessary expenses and crazy like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So, this is like a weird point in my business, is the monthly payroll taxes. I was like, I can't even believe what they are. Like, I get a bill every month. Like, my accountant will send me an email, and it comes out the 15th of every month out of our bank account. And it's like, dude, I remember when I didn't even make that much a month in my business. And now that's just our payroll taxes. So you have to have cash flow. You have to pay the IRS. It comes out every month. I don't even have control of that. My accountant does. I don't even know how to click the button to pay. I wouldn't even know what to pay. It's all, I don't even know. I don't have access to pay the IRS. That's all the accountant does it. So that money comes out, period. So my job is like, I have to have enough money to pay my guys, to pay the payroll taxes. You know what I'm saying? So if you're
that seems a little, well, everybody does it different. And the important part is that you are paying the payroll taxes and doing all that stuff. Yeah.
So, So are you talking about like you could pay it quarterly?
There's different ways that you can do it. Like we pay bi-weekly. It's called pay by pay for workers' comp, and bi-weekly payroll is what we run. And then the payroll taxes come out with each check, and we just have a separate bank account. I call it payroll account. So I always make sure that there's more than enough money in there. It all comes out, and then our current payroll company is ADP. We're probably going to like switch to Gusto, but I don't have a real reason to change because it just works just fine. And then every quarter they just send out all the filings. And then if anything is ever wrong, they send me mail like notice, and then I just upload it, and we just get it fixed real quick.
Yeah. So
But,
I think after
it's kind of automated, and it costs money for the service.
You
But
have to automate
I
it.
tried to do it all myself before to save a little bit of money, bro. I was freaking out.
No. So we were doing quarterly until about last year or 2 years ago. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's my accountant. You basically, you can't owe the IRS too much for payroll taxes. So if you're, listen, I don't even know what I'm talking about. This is just what I think I know, is if your quarterly payroll taxes that you owe them is a certain amount, whether you have, depending on how many employees you have or whatever. I don't know what exactly, but you can't owe them too much money. So if you go past the threshold quarterly, then you pay monthly. I believe. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
or it's my accountant's
They put you at monthly.
position. It put me at monthly.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that was their decision, my accountant's decision, and it's automated, which I believe is like step number one. I don't know anything about those tax forms. So find somebody and hire somebody that does and just have it automated. I don't ask for it. We're under the understanding of every single month, that's what you do. And that's what happens.
Dude, that's awesome. When I meet with my accountant, well, I don't do this much anymore, but I always have a list when I sit down with him. We talk quarterly on the phone, and at the end of the year, I go see him in person. We have a meeting. We go through everything, and then we talk with the bookkeeper quarterly, and then the bookkeeper every week. We do the pulse, kind of like a quick pulse checkup. And so I would create a list of all my questions, my paranoias, my concerns, and I sit down with my accountant. Hey, I need to book an extra half hour, 45 minutes, because I'm not your normal customer. I have questions, okay? So I would ask them, like, what do all these forms mean? I've been reading all this fine print. What does all this shit mean? What happens if this? And at some point, my accountant just had to, like, put his hands on the table and be like, listen, I'm the accountant. You're the business owner.
Yeah.
You hired me to do a job. You don't have to know all this shit. Just go make money. Everything's going to be good. I'll be like, no, fuck that. I got to know what this means, because of my fear that I'm going to randomly, because I read all of Kiyosaki's books, and he said, number one, you have to trust your accountant and your bookkeeper, and you have to know enough to understand. You don't have to know everything, but you got to know what they're doing, and so I was really concerned about all this, and so I'll go through stuff quarterly with a fine-tooth comb, and I'll check and I ask questions because I'm scared I'm going to get a crazy-ass tax bill in the mail, or, hey, what the hell is all this $42,000, and now I'm going to have to account for something because I wasn't paying attention. And so being the business owner, self-employed, whatever, with accountant and a bookkeeper, I know I'm kind of going off and I digress trail, but this makes sense. There might be stuff that they might be doing their job totally right, but you're missing something.
Yeah.
And they're so busy they didn't think to even ask you because they didn't know you had this other thing going on, and you didn't even disclose it to them because you didn't know. You just thought it all was chunked in with the money, and then you learn down the road, oh shit, there was so you have to be always asking questions and talking to other people about this. So then everything's just super clean and organized, and so
100%, dude, and Jonathan Potoshnik.
Oh, he's an alien.
The Lawncare millionaire.
He's an alien.
We went and saw
Genius.
him, I don't know, like five years ago or something.
I remember that video.
And he told us, he said he was running like a $10 million business out of a storage unit. And we're like, where's the big fancy shop at, dude? Like, we thought you would have this big fancy shop. And he's like, what business are you in? And I was like, well, lawn care. He goes, yeah, so why would I be dealing with real estate? And that always stuck with me. He goes, well, what business are you in? Well, we're a mowing business. And he's like, so why would I focus time, energy, money in investing in a building or a big shop? Because their business was ever growing. So, we'll add a couple trucks this year. Well, now we've outgrown our shop that we just paid millions of dollars for. So he goes, we run out of a storage unit. If we need an extra space, we just $125 a month. We just add it. So it's that always stuck with me. I'm like, well, I'm not in the tax preparation business. I'm in the lawn care business. So hire somebody that does tax preparation, and that's it. It's like, if your transmission goes out in your truck, your only job is to get it fixed as soon as possible and get back to mowing. If you're in a mowing business, that's it. So that is my mindset now. Like, our trailer went down last week.
Oh, wait. How quickly? Don't bitch and whine and complain about it. Just get that thing fixed right now, whatever it takes, and get that thing back on the road.
Yep. So our trailer, leaf spring broke last week. This was like Thursday or Friday maybe. Tyler called me, let me know. He's like, dude, it's broken. We're at a yard. I don't know what to do. Like, we can't go all day with this. 20 minutes, they were back at work. And that's not that's from 15 years of realizing problems happen and being prepared for it. So it was a quickly get back to the shop, grab another trailer, and get back to work. Because we're not in the trailer repair business. Okay? So within 20, maybe 30 minutes, the crew was back out at work with using our secondary trailer. So like I have one backup enclosed
trailer.
trailer.
It dropped off at a shop to get it fixed?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We could have spent all day there. We could have screwed around the rest of the day. I could have shown up. I didn't even go.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even go. I didn't help them at all. I helped them by figuring out what to do, but I didn't physically go there to solve the problem. And I believe if you want to grow a business, that's the mentality you have to have. I was heading there, but it got done so quickly, I didn't even have time to make it there. So get the other trailer, get back to work. I'll figure out. That's my job now. I'll figure out how to get the trailer solved or whatever. But we're not standing around wasting a beautiful rest of the day sitting here going, how do we fix this leaf spring on the street here? We could have literally, dude, when a tire went flat on a mower in the beginning of my business, we would sit there for hours. So what's the best option to get this done, Keith? To fix this tire? And you just screw around for an hour or 2 hours. Going with the soap. I don't know. Where is it? Let's take it off. Let's take it to Discount Tire. Go have them fill it up, solve the problem, come back to work, and it's nighttime now. That happened numerous times, and I said, if we want to get stuff done and we want to grow a business and not waste a bunch of time, payroll, we need to find faster ways to solve this problem. Okay, so now if a tire goes flat, 5 minutes, we'll get it back up and running.
You got a spare tire?
Well,
or just go run it out to the job site?
It just depends on what happens. So right now, like let's say a tire goes flat on a mower, somebody will be trimming. They just keep trimming. Okay? You take the tire off, put the air compressor up, spray it real quick, find where it is, shove whatever the plug in it, and we'll get back to work. If it's more than that, just put the mower at the front of the trailer or use the other mower. But we're not going to stand around and talk about it, think about it, and figure out what's wrong with it. That's been so huge, and I believe going from like a solo business where, oh my gosh, my mower's broken. We have to figure it out right now. Nothing is more important than figuring out what is wrong with this mower that I've invested money into. And I get that feeling because I've had that feeling too. We spend a ton of money on these machines, but now it's like I know the deal. The deal is get back to working, making the customers happy, just getting the work done, and we'll solve the problems later. I've had a backup mower even when I didn't have $1, dude. And a backup mower doesn't have to be a brand new $10,000 machine. It can just be something that can get you through for a day or two or a week, 2 weeks if the mower's in the shop getting a new hydro or something. So just learning these things of like
having a toolkit on the truck, one on the trailer, having all types of like just little preventative things.
Yep.
So that's a great thing that you're saying. When something goes wrong.
Looking to maximize your production in the field? Ballard Products has over 300 products that can help you get the most out of your efforts every day. Ballard Products. Whether you are looking to get a better cut, keep your gear on your machine, keep your expensive equipment clean and safe, or just get the most out of your machines, Ballard has you covered. Ballard Products. Jump onto our easy-to-use updated website at ballard-inc.com to get your gear ordered today. Keep grinding. Stay safe. And have a great season. Ballard. Make sure to use the code Keith10 to save 10% on our full line of gear. That's Keith10.
Do you fix it like then and just, I just hope that doesn't happen again? But then it happens again and you just keep brushing it under the rug? Or do you go and create a little system to create a preventative measure?
System.
Or I'm off work now. I'm just going to scroll on Netflix or Instagram and not create a system to fix that. Because it's not a black swan. It's not something that happens once every 17 years.
We go through tires. Tires pop all the time on us, or go flat, And so every truck has a plug kit, a battery-powered air compressor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got those little kits out. You can go to Harbor Freight and get the little tiny ammo box and get a battery power, the air compressor that plugs in, and then get the plug kit and then put it all in the little ammo box and just throw it in the back. Yeah. I have one in my wife's car too, and then one in my truck. And so it's like, I'm like,
Or if you're the Milwaukee the Milwaukee ones are
they got
sweet.
A battery powered one?
Well, they have we have a M12 one that came with the company that I bought. So it was already in that truck. And we had a DeWalt. It was actually like a little pancake one, and we just upgraded that. Milwaukee sent me the new M18 one, which is sweet, dude. So if you're already in the Milwaukee thing and you like their products, they're killer product. Like the inflators, they have M12 one, M18 one. The M18 one's crazy fast, and it's small. It's not going to take up a ton of room. And I know a lot of people have the carry tanks where it's not an actual air compressor. You basically fill it up with air and then it holds. That's fine too, but you have to make sure you refill it with air and stuff. So that's why I like the battery powered ones.
That's another thing. You just made me think of sometimes you might have to buy the wrong tool and realize it doesn't work, then buy something else, and then by the third or fourth thing that you get, you realize, this works. So don't be afraid to throw money down at things to go through the wrong things until you find the right one.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Just keep switching stuff out. I have this weird thing with my spatial IQ is actually low. I'm not very smart in this area. It's with physical surroundings, physical things. If I have to move and reorganize things, whether it be tools of the truck and trailer or even in the studio, I kind of get locked up, in this weird emotional, psychological wall. And I've actually had my wife help me with this, so I have to break through and just start moving stuff around and throwing stuff away and not be afraid to move shit around to find the kind of feng shui that works. I don't know how much sense that made, but let's just say you paint a wall in your garage one color, and then you feel trapped with that color. Oh, you're not, dude. Just repaint it the next color until you find something that works, or something with a piece of equipment. If let's just say you have a shop and you have parking spaces, or don't be afraid to scratch it all and redo it until you find a system that works, because you might be doing something stupid and be doing it a very inefficient way, but your brain got the neural networks in your brain got stuck and trapped and feeling like you got to keep doing that, and you don't know why you feel this pain and resistance. And I'm so embarrassed because I keep going down this fucking path, man. But you can actually, because that's not what this podcast is about. But you can fix that shit. I'm just gonna get off it, bro.
Dude, no, it makes total sense. And you made this video about I don't remember what the title was. Dematerializing. So it's crazy that we need more equipment now more than ever. But I'm going through and purging stuff that we don't use. It's crazy how actually simple our business seems, but how complex it seems. So we only really use the mowers, the trimmers, the blowers every single day. And a lot of the other stuff is just crap that I think I need. You know what I'm saying? And I just have junk everywhere, just stuff for the business, but I don't really need it or don't really use it. And so even in the trucks and trailers, like, it's pretty simple. Like, even though, like, we have these things to, like, oh, if a tire goes flat, trailer breaks.
And you only need this specific wrench. You only need these 2 or 3 wrenches can fix everything. Get rid of all the other tools that are random.
Oh, dude, I have totally random tools, and it's like all we really need is I have a Milwaukee and a DeWalt one, the impact sockets.
Simplified to multiply.
In an impact.
Bro, I have to tell this quick story.
Okay.
When I started my business first, so the first few years I would do anything: landscaping, pressure washing, soft washing, driveway cleaning. I would even paint your shed. We didn't actually paint any sheds, but doing gutter guards, gutter cleaning, installing different types of gutter. We were doing spraying weeds and stuff, even though we weren't supposed to. Like, I didn't have a license for it. I only did a few of them, but I brought a few different sprayers. We were doing asphalt. We were resurfacing people's driveways and doing like the tar. Then we were doing spraying sealant. We were doing all this different types of stuff, and I was buying all these different types of tools. And so the beginning of the 3rd year in the business, I had this guy working for me named Forrest, and he was quitting. And as he was quitting, I said, hey, as you're quitting, can you give me some, now that you're actually leaving, you can tell me the shit about me or about my business that needs to be improved with no emotional attachment, because you're quitting anyways. I would use it as an opportunity. He goes, yeah, I do have something to say. He goes, bro, you have all this random tools and all this random shit. Like, you're like a pack rat all over the fucking place. And I'm like, well, since today's your last day, will you help me all day and I'll fucking pay you extra? Let's go through and you can, because I'm stuck. Like, he did it, bro. He goes, what's this? I'm like, well, we might need that. He goes, dude, when's the last time? I've been working for you for over a year. We ain't used this fucking thing once. Garbage.
I'm a natural hoarder.
Yeah. So listen, we filled up the whole back. My Dodge Dakota had sidewalls on it. We filled it up to the top and 2 loads to the top. My whole storage unit, all types of shit, the trailer, and we put it all in and outside of a dumpster. We got rid of fucking everything that didn't belong. And I was like, oh. And then he quit, and I thanked him, and I shook his hand, bro, because like over 50% of the shit was shit that I was just holding on to, like broken wheelbarrows that I might fix one day. Bro.
Dude, you want to know something crazy?
Huh?
I feel like maturing in life, in business, as a human and as a business owner, that, like, if you can empower your employees to, like, openly talk to you like that as they're working for you. Like, Tyler and I have this conversation. I'm like, dude, what can we improve? Like, what actually? And I literally have it. I've already talked to him about it multiple times, that when we slow down, he's doing that exact thing, is going through and being like, we don't need this. We don't need this. We need this. We don't need this. And, like, that's a task that we have. A week, 2 weeks, however long it takes. If we can just... Is my jacket messing you up, dude?
No, it's not.
The audio?
It just keeps rubbing on the microphone.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Because you're wearing this sweet Milwaukee jacket, and it's got...
Yeah,
if you
dude,
guys
it's
see on the
cold
video
here in Michigan, dude.
in the Untrapped Podcast YouTube channel or anywhere, if you want to see the video version of this, just type in Blake Albertson, Keith Kalfas. It'll pop right up. His jacket's rubbing on. Like, it's not really even that bad, though.
Sorry. Yeah, dude, like, the most successful businesses that I've been around, it's not, I'm the boss, I know everything, listen to everything I say, that's it. That's how we do things. When there's a problem, what do you think we should do? Here's what I think we should do. Literally 7 times out of 10, I go with what my employees say is the best plan to fix a problem.
Because they're out in the field and the trenches, and they know. I'm like, dude, I am not perfect. You don't want decision fatigue either.
I don't know everything. And I want you to be open with me. Even when we went to Equip, we're talking to all the YouTubers, they're giving us advice or whatever. And I ask for it. I'm just trying to be a better person. If I can make better videos to help somebody,
you can actually get decision fatigue and get lazy and just start delegating everything. It's called delegation by abdication. So it's like you just delegate and you say, here, do this thing and figure it out. All right, peace. And you don't want nothing to do with it. And then they don't do it right, but it's your fault because you didn't give them clear outlines and specific expectations of what the end result would look like and empower them correctly. So you're like, oh my God, I'm so busy, just do it. And then you can start to bullshit yourself and be like, well, I know that they're going to mess it up 1 out of 5 times and I'm just willing to deal with that. But then it can lower their self-esteem and they can get upset and feel stupid and start to resent you because you're not giving them the proper parameters. And so you could be like, hey, I know you're going to mess it up and I'm not giving you the right directions. Just go fall on yourself and you're getting paid. It's like you're not being a good leader. So it's like the question is like, what percentage in the leadership am I supposed to be involved in this thing to where I'm leading them, but also not.
Jill's office provides friendly, professional receptionists for small business owners just like you. We can help answer your calls, and we can even schedule estimates and jobs for you. Try Jill's office today and get a $25 discount when you say Untrapped. Just go to jillsoffice.com.
Being a micromanager,
Yep.
and that's a weird thing because some people are terrified in leadership and they're a micromanager and they don't empower their employees. But think about having employees like the right people on the bus where they're so good at what they do. You could just kind of build the vision and they take off running. Like you got to hold them back. Like, oh, slow down a little bit. Like imagine that.
Two quick things that made me think of. Number one is if you need to really sit down. I firmly believe this. If you're in life or a business owner or in a management position, you need to figure out if, you know how everybody's like, oh, my boss is a you-know-what. You know, my boss sucks. I hate my boss.
Yeah, people don't quit jobs. They quit bosses.
That, most of the time comes from like power trips. People that like got into a position and now they think that they're the rulers. And that's why people hate their jobs, is people get in that position where they have a boss that just thinks they're awesome and they try to control the whole world. So as a business owner that you really want to grow a business that people want to work for you, you need to figure that out within yourself. And you need to figure out how to not have that. I talked to a guy literally 2 days ago, right before I left, and he worked at Disney World for $11 an hour. He was in the security at Disney, and he said, I loved my job. I loved it. And I go, why? He's like, the pay sucked. But they gave us the freedom to, like, if a kid drops an ice cream cone, to take a kid that's sad, and we don't have to ask permission to get them a new ice cream cone. And we can change somebody's day and make them happy, and we're empowered to do that. So
that's awesome. Kid dropped his ice cream cone. Get this kid a new ice cream cone.
Yep.
Kid's smiling again.
Yep.
They just sweep it up.
So they weren't like, oh, you can't spend that $2 on ice cream.
To make a customer happy.
And that made the employee happy. He said we had that freedom to do things like that. Even though the pay sucked, he goes, I would have worked there forever. Take that, whatever you hear that, I go, how can we do that in my business? How can we do that in my business?
Because your employees.
It's not all about money.
Well, actually, I had Mrs. Jones come out when I wasn't on the job site and had my guys do more free work.
Mm.
And I hadn't trained my guys to go, hey, wait. That's called a change order. And luckily, it wasn't nothing too much. But I was a little pissed when I showed up to the job site because the customer purposely took advantage of the situation, knew I wasn't there, and I come and I just was in the area doing quotes, and I stop and they're doing this extra work. Well, the customer wanted it. I was like, no, you don't do that.
We learned that. That's funny. Change order, you need to learn change order, and we'll get you a quote. You know, I always say that, like when if they're out on the job and, hey, can you just take that brush that's in the back? Can you guys just put it in the truck and take it?
Yeah, just take it with you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, chill. Can you guys just cut those bushes here real quick? Whoa. We'll get you a quote on that. I'll have Blake, that's what they say. I'll have Blake reach out. Just send him a couple pictures and he'll get you a quote on it. Whoa. Don't be giving away. I love my customers. I want to do good work and make them happy. But you have to make money. You have to make money. That's just plain and simple.
We were on a job site and I left to go do a quote like around the block. I come back and the guys were gone. the trucks there, the backpack blowers in the front yard where I shouldn't be, the trimmers are laying.
Oh
I go, what the hell is going on? And then I see the neighbor, with much respect, it was an elderly gentleman. He was waving, standing outside with his door open, inside of his house. I go, what's the neighbor doing? I don't never. And then I look again and I see a dirty green Nike shoe. Like just joking, but I look and my employee's in the neighbor's house.
Oh my!
I go, what the hell is going on? I'd march over to the neighbor's house, and the neighbor waited for me to leave and bribed my guys and gave them $20 to come in and move a heavy ass bedroom set around in their house or something. And I go right up in the house. I go, what the hell's going on? Oh, we're moving the furniture for the neighbor. I'm like, what? What are you doing? We don't do that. So they had already started the process. So I jumped in real quick and I was like, let's just move this shit real quick and get out of here. Get your little $20. Don't ever do that ever again, right? And then, like, I should have said, just put that down right there. This is a liability. Don't. But I felt bad because now we would have left it in the middle of the hallway and these old people might get hurt or something. But I was like, and I had to have a talk with my guys. We do not do that shit.
Can you imagine they trip, snap their ankle, fall down the stairs?
Or hurt the old people.
It's just,
Dude,
oh my gosh, we've moved so many couches, bro.
You've done
when I was
this?
young. Oh my gosh. I literally made a video about this the other day. I'm like, we did that. I remember moving a couch from this lady's garage, walking through the house, going down the stairs into the basement.
Dude,
you can't do that anymore, dude.
Back in like 2002 or something, I was a foreman for a different company. The guys disappeared. These guys were my friends, and they were working like for me, but for the company, and they were gone. I didn't know where they went, and all the way across the street, I saw one of them, or something like. And they were all the way across the street, 5 houses down, moving a heavy ass refrigerator down some lady's steps, and I go in the house and they're dripping in sweat moving a fridge down the steps for like $10, and I was furiously pissed, like, what the hell are you doing? It was like that $10.
There's 1,000 things that can happen. Just imagine you drop the whatever it is down the stairs, it breaks, it puts a hole through the wall, and they take a picture. Kelfis, I mean, there's no winning. There's zero winning in that scenario. I mean, they could trash your business, dude, by saying, oh, yeah, they offered to come help me move a fridge, dropped it through the wall, down the stairs, and left.
Yeah. Okay, so now I don't want to get negative here because we're having fun here, but it's like you can hire employees and find out that your foreman's driving 3 miles out of the way to get coffee at his favorite gas station.
By the way, Tim Hortons. We don't have this here. We don't have where I live. Tim Hortons is like, I think it's the thing near Canada. Like if you're near Canada, right? You have Tim Hortons. Have you always had Tim Hortons?
Yeah, dude, it's the best. The coffee's so good that we buy Tim Hortons ground coffee and we brew it at our house. We have it in our cupboards.
Yeah, we don't have it anywhere near us.
Or like you'll find out that like your crew is doing side jobs behind your back and collecting the money, or just like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then they're charging you and you're paying for it. So just have clear policies and put GPS on the trucks and yeah. Anyways, so with this whole process of going from like a solo operator, you like it?
Love it.
Why?
I love it because it allows me more freedom to it's like, and I know this has probably been explained a million times, but I feel like I have been able to take a step back from like dealing with, doing Susie's yard to like, where are we really going? And I know that can kind of sound like cliche, like a lot of people say that, but I don't know. It's just been more fun. It's fun. There's a lot weirder problems. My day-to-day is like dealing with phone calls and texts and emails, and it's just different, and it's fun. It's I don't know.
So you've gotten out of the field and now you're maybe are you office manager or doing the admin work? Are you dealing with the billing and invoicing?
Just like a little bit of everything. Like whatever needs to be done is what I do. I don't even know how to explain it. I know that sounds silly and weird, but like whatever we need to do to make keep the ship moving is what I do.
Cool.
And it changes every single day.
Cool.
You know, and you can't, I've noticed that if you're trying to grow your business beyond your truck, if you have zero time to focus on where you're going, what you're doing, you look back at the end of the year and you're like, what did we do, dude? Like, we didn't even move the needle forward because you were just out in the field doing your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
Like, and I've heard that story a million times of people growing their business and making less money.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and so I feel like you have to at least
Less
step
personal
back.
income.
Maybe
right?
do, yeah, absolutely. You know, you've heard that story about like the guy that goes to $1 million business, but he's only taking home like $30,000-$40,000.
Yeah.
You think it sounds crazy. How could you burn through that much money? But it does happen, and it's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mike Andes is doing an excellent job on his new videos. He's going to the companies, like $1 million companies that are going bankrupt, and he goes there, and the guy's driving a brand new King Ranch F350. They've got 3 Bobcats, you know, brand new Bobcats, but they have like, you know, $1,000 in the bank account with 20 employees, and they're like a week away from going bankrupt. And it sounds like, how could you burn through them if you're $1 million company? But if you're just in the day-to-day, oh, we need a new Bobcat. Let's go buy a new Bobcat today. Oh, this is so cool. We keep doing it. And you never even look at the books. You never even look at what's going on in the business because you're in it. You're in the grind every single day. And I'm not saying we don't work, but it's just a different level of work, a different type of work. And it can happen. I don't want it. I don't want it to happen to me. If you're just, dude, we're mowing grass today. We'll look at the finances another day. We're mowing grass today. Oh, we'll deal with that another day. And then the whole year goes by, and it's January, and you're like, where's all this money that we made? You know, I thought we were you know, however much money we're making a year business, and you don't have any money. And I just feel like you have to at least take 2 days out of the week that you're not mowing. Maybe don't mow Thursday, Friday. Let the crews go out and do that, or let somebody else go out and mow. And you take a step back Thursday, Friday and say, where are we? What are we doing? What needs to be done in the actual business? You know? And there's a million learning things. And like I said, for some reason, it's taken us a ton of time to learn how to switch to credit cards, to talk to the customers about it, get them on board, communicate that with them, come up with this policy. When are we going to invoice? How are we going to invoice? How are we going to keep people's credit cards on file? Just time-consuming stuff. It's just different, and I can't do it if I'm out in the field 5, 6, 7 days a week, like I was for 10 years. You know, I would work till
you can't.
I would work
or
till
if you
9
do,
o'clock.
it's going to be at a huge cost.
Yep.
To your health, to your relationships, all that. You'll just burn out.
And I would say the number one thing that I'm grateful for with the place we're at in business right now is being able to spend more time with my kids. We're just like, it's such an age that it's fun. It's moving so fast. And I get to hang out with them a little bit more than I could if I was working till dark every night. And that's what I'm most thankful for, that we've done everything we've done, and we've grown a little bit and stepped a little bit out of the field, is being able to spend time with my family. And it truly is. It's amazing, because I just didn't want to, I don't know. I just, kids grow up fast, dude. And you blink, you'll never get today back.
You can ask yourself a question like, hey, if you want to grow your business a little bit and get out of the field, and you feel that pain now that you don't have time to spend time with your family and stuff like that, what'll happen if you don't grow?
Yeah.
3-4 more years is going to go by, and now you're really going to be suffering.
Because I was always at like, it's going to cost me more money. Yeah, it's going to cost you more money to get out of the field. Plain and simple, you got to figure it out. You got to raise your prices, cut expenses, cut unnecessary expenses. Maybe don't buy. We drive an We have two 2010 trucks for our crews. They're not brand new. So it's like you're going to sacrifice something. If you go out, work every day, and you want to get out of the field a little bit, you're going to have to hire somebody to take that position to fill what you do. It's going to cost more money.
Yeah, so basically what Blake's saying, if you don't totally get it, if you're paying yourself a technician's wage of 22 or say $20 an hour,
yeah.
If you get out of the field, now you're going to pay a crew leader that same $20 an hour that you used to pay yourself as a technician.
Yeah.
That's $20 an hour less that you're making. So in order to replace that income, you either got to make them work longer and more, or launch another crew. So let's say you can make a couple bucks an hour off that. I don't know what your man-hour rate or your pricing, or you can go out and do side jobs, or you have to grow your way out of it to get that money back that you were making. So you can literally be, say, clearing $50,000 a year. Now all of a sudden you're only clearing 15.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I just doubled the size of my business and I'm making no money. And then you grow your way out of it.
Yeah. Let's say you and another person are the crew, the business.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you charge so you make money off the employees. It covers the business, covers the pay, it covers everything. But
yeah, let's say you make $100,000. It's you and another guy. Okay. You take home with that. I mean, you're only paying one employee. You're going to take home a lot larger chunk of the pie, but you want to take a step back and figure out, hey, how do we get to two, three, 4 crews? You take a step out of that business, still making $100,000, and now you're doubled your payroll costs. You're going to see that at the end of the year. You're going to notice, hey, instead of $60,000, we're making, 40. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, now that we've doubled our payroll costs. So you just got to figure out where you want to go, how you want to do it, because you're going to make a sacrifice sometime. If I was out in the field still and we ran 3 crews instead of 2 crews, and I which I might do, I don't know yet. It was like, hey, we doubled the size of our business this year. Let's stabilize that. Let's make sure everything's running, get systems in place. Do I want to do it again? I don't know yet. Maybe the next year, I could start building up another crew and do the same thing and hire 2 people to take that on and do it again. That's how you grow a business. But, we made the sacrifices of, like, if I was out doing that, I'd probably buy a brand new F-250 to drive around. You know what I'm saying? Like, we make sacrifices somewhere. So we're not doing that. So we use the work trucks that we have. And my main focus right now is, like, how do I make my employees more money? I don't think that's a bad focus. It is not. It is not right now. My focus is not how do we wring out every dollar possible of the business. It's, hey, next year my focus is how do we get my employees more money? And I think that's something that we should all sit down and be like, yeah, I do want the people around me to be successful.
Yeah.
I firmly, truly believe that.
More hourly and get that bonus money in there.
Yep.
Fat Christmas checks.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm trying. I'm trying to bump people up as I can and where I can. But that's my focus. Like, how do we take care of customers and make my employees happy? It's not all about money, but money's a factor. If they love their job and they're making good money, win-win. I want that. So get a good workplace environment that's free. It doesn't cost a lot of money to empower your employees, but I also want to do the second part of that is get them more money,
I love it. Blake, let's end this on a high note.
Love it.
We have dinner reservations at Cooper's Hawk Restaurant. Delicious. Partridge Creek Mall here in Michigan. Let's go get some dinner in a little bit. How can everybody find you? What is your podcast?
The B&B Lawncare podcast at BB Lawncare KC on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
So you just start to type in Blake Albertson or BB Lawncare. He pops right up. So 2 of them pop up on Instagram. Which one is yours? BB Lawncare KC?
I don't know. Is there another one?
Whenever I type in your name, 2 Instagrams pop up.
Oh, I have no clue, dude. It's BB Lawncare KC is mine.
BB Lawncare KC. It's the one with the most amount of followers on Instagram.
Hopefully.
Dude, it's been awesome watching your tremendous growth. I remember, dude, it was back in 2013 seeing your videos.
Yeah.
And
dude, it's weird that our friendship lasts longer than, like, most friendships in real life. It's kind of wild to see, and we only see each other a couple times a year, so it's pretty cool.
We talk on the phone.
Yep.
And one thing I really like, we never ever say, "Hey man, can you share this thing, or can I get on your video," or like promote each other's stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's just a real friendship, and if we happen to make videos together, cool, because I don't know, we don't need anything from each other.
Yeah.
That's a great foundation, bro.
It's true. Love it, dude.
Bro, thanks
Thank
so
you,
much
sir.
for being on the Untrapped podcast.
Thanks for having me.
This will be on all platforms: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Apparently, in order to, I heard this from Tommy Mello recently because he's the A1 garage door guy. He's awesome. And he brought something to my attention. Basically, go and leave a positive 5-star review. It'll take you 60 seconds. If you're on Apple or Spotify, just go real quick on your phone, stop what you're doing, not if you're driving. Please leave a well-worded review and just hit submit. Do that for me. Please do that as a favor. Also, my new book, 17 Ways to Market a Landscaping Business, is coming out very soon. We finally got the book finalized. I sent out a couple. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I did.
I sent you a copy. Stan Genetic got a copy.
That's so cool, dude.
And I sent out copies to a few different people. We're in the studio recording the audiobook version right now. But anyways, go check out Blake. Also, you can watch this on my YouTube channel at Keith Kelfis. Again, check out Blake's channel, B&B Lawncare. And we're going to go to the Launchpreneur Academy. See you in the next show. Peace. Well, I didn't end that right. Well, Entrepreneur Academy. I'm just trying to get all this shit out real fast because there's so many. I'm gonna start, for those of you guys listening right now. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I'm creating running show notes that I'm gonna be talking about, like what's going on in case you've missed it. Like, so go to keithkelfis.com and anyways, see you in the next show. Peace.
Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it, can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded positive 5-star review? It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so then they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.